A millionaire raced home, his heart pounding in his chest. Inside his driveway, he spotted his daughter locked in the car, struggling to breathe, her tiny hands desperately pressing against the glass. His new wife claimed it was a simple mistake, that she had forgotten her, but the blood on the maid's hands told a different story. When the truth was finally revealed, the cruelty of the stepmother came to light, sealing her fate. But before we dive deeper, drop a comment below. Where are you watching from, and what time is it in your corner of the world? Also, don't forget to strike that like and subscribe button. Let's get into it. The sun blazed down, casting harsh rays onto the shiny car parked in the driveway. Inside, the little girl was trapped, sweat soaking her yellow dress. Her small palms pressed against the glass, her cries barely escaping the sealed windows. "Daddy, help me," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Weakly, she banged her tiny fists against the hot window. Just moments before, her stepmother had exited the car, her heels clicking as she walked away without a glance back. With a soft click, she locked the doors and walked into the house. To anyone watching, it seemed like an innocent mistake, a simple moment of forgetfulness. But the little girl knew better. Fear gripped her chest as she screamed again, her voice hoarse. "Someone please help me." The maid, carrying a basket of freshly washed linens, had just stepped onto the porch when she heard the faint thumping. She turned sharply, her eyes widening as she saw the girl's tear-streaked face behind the glass. "Allah!" she shouted, dropping the basket in shock. She dashed to the car, but the door was locked. Frantically, she pressed her hand against the glass. "Hold on, sweetie. Don't fall asleep," she begged, her voice trembling. The girl's sobs grew louder, more frantic, her fists pounding against the glass. "It's too hot. I can't breathe." The maid's chest tightened, panic settling in. She spun around and screamed toward the house. "Madam, the keys." "Where are the keys?" But the house remained silent. No response. Her heart raced as she pounded on the window again, pain shooting through her hands as her knuckles cracked and bled. But the glass wouldn't give. "Please no," she whispered, fear flooding her veins. Then the distant roar of an engine cut through the air. A sleek silver car sped into the driveway, its tires screeching. The millionaire, towering and dressed in a sharp navy suit, stepped out of the car, adjusting his tie with practiced ease. But as he saw the chaos unfolding, his expression turned to one of sheer disbelief. "What in the world is going on?" he demanded, striding toward the scene. The maid's voice cracked under the pressure as she turned to face him. "Sir, she's locked in the car. She's struggling to breathe." His gaze shot to the car. His daughter's face was bright red, her small fists pounding weakly against the glass, her lips parting desperately for air. His heart tightened in fear. "Allah!" he shouted, charging forward, his fists slamming against the glass. "Daddy's here. Hang on, sweetheart." The little girl's sobs grew louder, and the maid's hands trembled uncontrollably. She slammed her palm against the window once more, but it didn't give. Blood oozed from her split skin, streaking the glass. "It's not breaking," she muttered, fear gripping her voice. The father's voice roared with panic. "Where are the damn keys?" The maid's eyes filled with helpless tears. "She took them inside." "She won't be back," she replied, the weight of her words hanging heavily between them. Silence fell, broken only by the fading cries of the child. The father stood frozen, his anger boiling, but there was nothing he could do. Without a word, the maid's face steeled. No more waiting. She darted to the garden, grabbed a jagged rock, and rushed back to the car. "Wait!" the father barked, his voice cracking in desperation. But she didn't hesitate. With all her strength, she swung the rock at the window. Crack! Blood flowed down her palm as she struck again. Crack! On the third swing, the glass shattered into pieces. Ignoring the pain from her own wounds, the maid reached through the broken window, unlocked the door, and yanked the girl out. The child collapsed into her arms, sobbing, her breath coming in gasps but still alive. The father stepped back, unable to process what he was witnessing. His daughter, clutching the maid as though she was her only protector, sobbed into her chest, while the maid held her tightly, her uniform stained with blood from her own injuries. The millionaire's hands trembled as he pulled his daughter into his arms, holding her close. Ella's small body quivered, her arms wrapped tightly around his neck. He kissed her forehead, his heart a storm of anger and heartbreak. "Sweetheart," he whispered, his voice cracking. "Who did this? Tell me the truth." Ella's lips quivered, her tear-streaked face looking up at him. With a sob, she pointed toward the house. "She did it," Ella choked out. "She locked me in the car. She laughed when I cried. She said I wasn't her child." The father's heart froze. A cold rage flooded through him. Slowly, he turned to face the mansion, his jaw tight, teeth grinding in fury. The front door creaked open, and there she was, his wife, stepping out with her heels clicking softly against the marble floor. Her handbag swung carelessly from her shoulder, and her expression was too calm, far too calm. "What's all this noise?" she asked, her voice flat as though nothing was wrong. The maid's bloodied hand tightened around the child. "Don't you dare act innocent," she spat, her voice trembling with anger. "You left her to suffer." The wife's gaze flicked coldly to the maid before returning to her husband. "You really believe her?" she sneered. "She probably forgot the girl in the car herself, and now she's blaming me." The millionaire's voice thundered, bouncing off the cold stone walls. "Enough," he roared. "Ella already told me what you did." His wife blinked, feigning shock. "She's just a child. Children lie," she snapped, then turned to the maid, her voice dripping with venom. "And you're just a servant looking for sympathy." The maid's body trembled, but she lifted her chin, blood dripping from her wrist. "I'd tear my hand open 100 times just to save that girl," she said, her voice steady but fierce. "Can you say the same?" The father's chest tightened, rage burning in his eyes. "No, she can't," he said, his voice a deadly whisper. "Because she didn't save her. She left her there." The wife scoffed. "You can't prove anything." He turned toward the house, his voice booming. "Then let's see what the cameras have to say." Moments later, the three of them were in the study, the maid cradling Ella in her lap, softly whispering comfort as the security footage rolled. On the screen there it was, undeniable. His wife, stepping out of the car, glancing back at the crying child, smirking, locking the door with a remote and walking away. No hesitation. No mistake. Just cruelty. The father's face turned scarlet with fury. Ella buried her face into the maid's shoulder. "See, Daddy, I told you," she whispered. The wife sneered, her lips curling into a twisted grin. "So what? So I locked her in. Maybe now she'll learn she's not the princess she thinks she is. You spoil her. She's weak. Always whining. Always in the way." The maid gasped, holding the child even tighter. "You heartless monster," she whispered. The millionaire's fist crashed down on the desk, making everyone jump. His voice boomed, full of fury. "Get out." His wife blinked, stunned. "What?" "You heard me," he snapped, pointing towards the door. "Pack your things. Get out of my house. You'll never come near my daughter again." Her face twisted with pure rage. "So, you're choosing her? You'd pick that brat over me after everything?" The man's eyes blazed. "She's my daughter, and the maid you humiliated just saved her life, while you tried to ruin it. You mean nothing to us. Nothing." Ella lifted her tear-streaked face, her voice trembling but unwavering. "I don't want you here. Ever." The stepmother's mask finally shattered. She let out a bitter laugh, clutching her handbag tightly. "Fine," she spat. "You'll both regret this." The millionaire took a step forward, his voice low and menacing. "The only regret I have is marrying you. Now leave, or I'll make you leave." With one last venomous glare, the woman stormed toward the stairs, her heels clicking sharply against the marble floor. Moments later, the sound of a suitcase scraping across the floor echoed through the quiet house, followed by the sharp bang of the front door. A thick silence settled over everything. The father turned back to face the maid and his daughter. His heart twisted as he saw the little girl clinging to the maid, her tiny fingers gripping the woman's apron as if she couldn't bear to let go. The maid's bloodied hand gently stroked the child's hair as she whispered softly, "You're safe now, sweetheart. No one will hurt you again." The father knelt, pulling both of them into a tight embrace. His voice cracked with emotion. "Thank you. You've saved what matters most. I'll never forget this." The maid shook her head, her voice barely a whisper. "She's your daughter?" "I couldn't just watch," the maid answered, her gaze soft. Alice sniffled, her small hand grasping both of theirs. "Can we stay like this forever?" The father kissed her forehead, his voice filled with promise. "Forever, my love. I swear it." In that moment, despite the collapse of his marriage, the father realized he hadn't lost. He had finally seen what truly mattered. His daughter was safe in his arms, and the woman who had proven her loyalty, through pain and sacrifice, was standing beside them. The maid had done the unimaginable. She had saved his daughter's life when her own stepmother had tried to take it. True love stands strong no matter the cost. If this story touched you, hit like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales of courage and sacrifice. Comment below. Who do you think showed the true meaning of family in this moment?